This is me, and this is also me. So, I don't know if you're anything like me when it comes to this particular struggle, but for almost my entire life, I've had this difference. Oh, hi! So, for a good chunk of my life, I've had this struggle with myself when it comes to how to portray myself on social media. I tend to compare myself to a lot of artists that I admire and think, wow, I want a persona like that. And even like as someone who's on YouTube, persona and branding is very important. I want to go into art as a career, which means having some sort of social media presence, and all of this stuff goes hand in hand. And so I thought that I could make this video basically going through my process of how I've drawn myself over the years, who I am as me, as Cell, how I approach making a persona, how I approach identifying the characteristics of myself that I want to show as part of my brand. I have piles of sketchbooks next to me, lots of paper surrounding me. I recorded this video already, a full 50 minutes. Realized my camera wasn't recording. Great, I know. Very professional of me. I don't really want to go and pull everything out again, so I will be putting some like scans on the screen as examples, you know, and I won't take too long to go into my own personal history, but I'm just going to go through my process as a content creator from pre-content creation to now. If you're struggling, I hope that you can identify parts of yourself and maybe learn from my mistakes or my advice. In turn, I'm also going to ask anyone who has advice to give for me or for any potential viewers to let everyone know in the comments. You guys have been really awesome about sharing knowledge and just like creating this sort of community in the comments. It's been very cool to see. And so I just wanted to kind of promote that some more. Comment if you have any advice for me or for anyone else. So for most of my pre-social media journey, I just drew myself like drawing. Here's some drawings from when I was like 2 years old, 3 years old, maybe older, maybe younger, I don't know. I drew myself like this, scary, freaky, very this is how I feel when I saw them for the first time. I found like an old kindergarten book that I had, and it was very terrifying. I saw a TikTok today that said the number one thing that people that like turns someone off from a YouTube video is audio quality, and I'm very paranoid that is going to be a problem here. So we're doing my best, y'all. It's like 90 degrees. Okay, give me a break, and I can't have my AC on. I have my fan on at least, but it's on 1 and I'm like sweating. But I have this on for a reason, and I'm going to stick with it. Anyway, and I'm just going to throw like drawings that I've done since then. The biggest change for me was when I was going into high school. Now, I don't know if any of you guys have been in New York for much time, like grown up in New York, but they have this system for high schools where you can go into like the randomly allotted public school for your area, or you can apply to some specialty schools. Now, that's a whole drama. The specialty schools thing, it's a whole thing. I applied to this cartooning school, this animation high school, which I did not get into. To no one's surprise, considering these are some of the drawings that I was entering into my portfolio. Not my best work. It was my best work then, but it's not. No. I'm glad they declined me. It was good for my self-esteem, good for my ego. It needed to happen. And that was when the first notable change in my art happened. I started making a lot more OCs at that point, and I also was getting into anime at the time, so that's when my style started shifting away from Gravity Falls cartooning style to My Hero Academia, which, not that I would call this My Hero Academia, and for a while this worked for me, but then I started uploading to Instagram, and I remember my first persona very vaguely. I made it summer of 2018. I made this account. It was like Chaotic Clementine or Clementine Calamity. Clementine Calamity. That was the account. That was the name that I could go by Clem. My persona at the time had orange hair instead of blonde. Wow. Amazing. I know, very creative, and I did not resonate with that at all. It was very much a forced attempt at persona. I was looking at a lot of cool personas, and that was when I started to get jealous of other people. It didn't resonate with me, so I ditched it very quickly, and that is when I came up with my channel, Seltzer. My channel, my Instagram, my everything. That was when I came up with my everything. It started as Seltzer-san, because anime, you know. And then it was Bubbly Seltzer for a while, and I had this like bubble creature. Although in hindsight, I don't think a state of matter persona makes a lot of sense. For me, at least, if you can make a gas persona work, be my guest. But it was not working for me. And I have some animations of it. I have some drawings of it. It just didn't, no. Not the move. And I'm very glad that I ditched it. But anyway, for a while I was Seltzer-san, and then I was Bubbly Seltzer, and then I finally grew up, and we have Seltzer, 2 S's, 2 R's. Like now, this was very early 2020, maybe even late 2019 that I started this. And I was doing it as a way to sort of like start a brand. Now, I was way young to be starting a brand, and I don't like looking back on this art, but I had my Stelter persona for a while, and it just wasn't clicking with me. I didn't really have a good time with it. I was still drawing myself like how I exist, and I think that having those two isn't good. For me anyway, I don't like having a persona and then still drawing myself as I exist. I want them to be one and the same, which means that I need something that really represents me, makes me feel like me, and having something that looked so vastly different didn't really make me feel like myself when I was drawing. So I guess that would be tip number one that I learned with time, is if something just really isn't clicking for you, it's not worth it to force it, because you will start to feel this weird dual identity, which is what I felt. And one of my most important things when it has come to my social media journey on Instagram, on Twitch, on TikTok, on YouTube, is being real, I guess, showing who I am in a very genuine way. Having a persona that doesn't look like me or feel like me or associate with me in a visual way, in an immediate way, like you can't look at it and say that looks like Cell, that's a problem for me, and it makes me feel like I'm masking, which I don't want to be feeling like I'm doing on my own social media account, though I very quickly ditched that concept as well and went back to just drawing myself as I am. I really didn't like it though, and very, very, very quickly I stumbled across my new thing. I'm sure that many of you will be able to relate to this, so close your eyes and listen to my setting, okay? I'm going to set the scene for you. It's early 2020. You have just seen an animation posted by Saddest on YouTube, and you're like, who the hell is Saddest? So you open this thing and it is incredible. Your mind feels blown. Everyone on TikTok is talking about this animation, and you start thinking, what the hell? What is this? Who is Dream? And the rest is history, right? We all went through it. I'm sure that everyone will understand when I say that Dream SMP completely changed the trajectory of my entire life, even if I didn't intend it to do so. And if you were in the Tommy Innit community at the time, I'm sure you'll remember the concept of Raccoon Innit, you know, the feral child doing feral child things. Whoa, Raccoon digging in trash, right guys? This resonated with me, unfortunately. And I created my second ever furry persona. I say second ever because I used to only be able to draw furries furry cats even. That was the only thing I could draw. I'll try to see if I have any of these, but I drew myself like that for a while and it didn't look good. But note in history that I would like to forget. But my second ever furry persona was a raccoon. And I streamed Minecraft with that skin for a long time, and I sketched myself like this as well. And it very quickly just became myself, my persona. I think everyone was joining SMPs at the time, right? I definitely did join an SMP. I don't think the words Emerald SMP have been uttered on the internet in 5 years, but here I am, bringing up the dead horse, beating the dead horse, if you will. I loved being on there. It was the best. I really loved it. And when I first joined, I joined with my raccoon character, which means that for the rest of the time that I was on that server with almost everybody that I became friends with post then, I was the raccoon one, and that was my thing, and that was my brand. I could not escape it. It was inescapable. I didn't really want to escape it, but also that was my new brand. And I also very quickly remembered that I don't hate drawing furries, but I mean, that isn't me. I'm not a furry. I don't identify like this. I think that it's fine if you do, but in my heart of hearts, it's never clicked like that for me. So I ditched it pretty quickly, and I thought, well, what's the next best thing? Raccoon hybrid, duh. I get the benefits of the cute little ear, and I don't have to draw any other furry features at all. It's perfect, right? So that was what I went with also for a long time. And you will suddenly see in any art that I post about this, my hair is short, my hair is blue, purple, my hair's purple, oh my god, my hair's purple, and I'm wearing all black and a hoodie. Oh my god, I just need to add that the Eddsworld hoodie style was stuck in my art style for so long, and this is the first time that I ever actually was able to get out of that. Oh my god, it looked so bad, and everyone used to always make fun of me for how weird my hoodies looked, but I never changed it because I was like, this is just the Eddsworld style, you just don't get it. It looked bad. I should have taken the advice of the people around me. So anyway, I did all of that in real life. I chopped my hair short, I made it purple. I also got my ears pierced right when I had that whole breakdown moment. That was pretty fun. That was a whole era. Honestly, my hair would still be purple if it could be, hobby, but my job, and since I've moved, I haven't been able to get hair dye, and now my job does not allow dyed hair anyway, so it doesn't really matter. I don't have the choice anyways, but the purple hair is still a huge part of who I am and the identity that I have created, and I still associate myself with purple hair even though I don't have it. It's okay. I've been thinking maybe I should draw myself with my actual hair color. I don't think I ever will because I really am attached to the purple. That's what I'm saying. Alongside self-discovery came persona solidification, and realizing that I am purple and my hair must be purple was key in creating my persona, which will always have purple hair. And anyway, from that raccoon hybrid sona, I also departed towards my steampunk era, which is still on Twitch. If you are interested in looking at a little time capsule, I don't have any VODs, but if you want to look at a time capsule, it's twitch.tv/Selter, 2 S's, 2 R's. I've been locked out of my account for the whole time, and I've been having issues recovering my account. I was adopting the steampunk, and I had the tail, the robot tail, and the hat, and this whole little steampunk vibe, which was really great and really fun, and I think that it was a really unique idea, and I thought it made me stand out a lot. The issue came when it came to actually draw it, because it took me freaking forever. I'm telling you, forever to draw that thing. Like, all of the mechanics, all of the tech, it was a huge pain in the butt. And this is where my second piece of advice comes in. Keep it simple, trust me. You don't want something that takes you too long to draw. You need to be able to doodle this thing out and have it still be recognizable. Keep it simple. The clothes must be simple. And at least for me, I only draw myself in the clothes. Sorry, I'm like... Anyway, I had the steampunk thing going for a long time, and it didn't work for me because it took me way too long to draw. So I ditched it, and I went back to how it was before. Except now I had purple hair and more sweatpants instead of whatever the hell I was drawing myself in before. And this, like, did work for me. But I'm sure that anyone who's had struggles with this before is encountering that issue that we all encounter. My shit looks boring. It's boring. I don't know how to, like, I don't have a fashion sense, so I can't draw myself in cool outfits. And I didn't have anything defining about my persona other than I had purple hair, which isn't the most defining thing. And so I started to second guess myself again. And in, when was it? Like late 2023? Earlier. I think late 2022, I discovered the alien. Now, I really love this alien, and the design process to making this thing was pretty dang cool, and I liked it quite a lot. Oh my god, I'm overheating, can you tell? So this alien was me for a long time, and the design process for this was, one, I was always a big fan of the third eye concept, third eye clothes, whatever. I also was able to identify that I quite liked having tails. That was one of the reasons that I stuck with the raccoon thing for so long, was because I could like animate the tail, and it showed a lot of emotion in my art, and I thought that that was important. Having extra limbs was cool, but I didn't give myself extra hands. I gave myself a tail. And I was able to keep the purple thing going, and the whole thing, it just felt like the right amount, the right balance. And if you can't tell, I get a little bit stir crazy once in a while when something is really exciting to me, or when I'm getting a little frantic or a little antsy. And I thought that the concept of like this imp alien thing kind of displayed that. I also always really liked drawing pointy teeth. I was really into Fire Force at the time that I was making it, and it was great, and I loved it until it didn't work for me anymore. And it worked for me for a long time, and I thought it was just the right amount of looked like me. And I had the little storyline that could make it easy for me to justify drawing myself a little bit more normal. Oh my god, I don't even know what I was saying, but the point is, I had like the other version, and it was all well and good until it wasn't anymore, and I moved far away from everybody that I know and love, and then started doing basic training, and it really sucked. And 3 months really sucked. It really sucked. It really sucked, and it changed my entire perspective on everything that I am and think about. That was pretty rough. And while I was there, I stopped identifying with this alien creature because I realized that I needed something a little bit more grounded in reality. I think that I've always had a tendency to do that, but I had a lot of fun having a creature that was a little bit more different and unique, and I thought it was fun. I wanted to be like other artists. I thought it was cool to have this little persona, this little alien thing. It stopped working. It stopped working for me. I needed something more grounded in reality, which isn't something that everyone might relate to. I think that if you're someone who is having a difficult time, which at the time I was not having a difficult time, but I was on the internet a lot. I was sort of exploring myself and exploring things. And point is that there started to become a dissonance between the drawing and myself once again. So I went back to just drawing myself. Oh my god, I'm so hot. So I was drawing myself like normal. I'll include some of my doodles and sketches from that period period of time, and all was well. And honestly, I thought that was it. So I will give my basic advice, and then we will go on to my current dilemma. That one of the biggest things I would recommend that you think about is think about your persona more as a caricature of yourself. So I would reference those personality tests, which ISTP, MBTI, MTBI, personality 16, the 16 personalities test. They basically ask you to put into words your personality. And I think that if you're looking for where to start, that is the first place to start. You can reference other characters that have similar personality types to you. I think that establishing a vibe for your character is important, like your persona, because you want it to be identifiable and connectable with who you are as a person. That's one of the key things that you can do to avoid dissonance. Another thing, keep it simple. I would personally recommend making the outfits that you draw your persona in outfits that you actually wear. At least for me, I really thrived having the simple hoodie thing. All of that worked perfectly for me. All of my social media platforms are advertised with that. On Artfight, my character is just me in a hoodie and a t-shirt. And honestly, I really connected with it. I really vibe with it. And I'm sure that I'll be sticking with that kind of baseline for a long time. The issue is that we are always growing up. I'm 20. I feel like I'm still growing up every day, and my fashion sense has changed, thankfully. I dress pretty well, pretty average, I'd say. Very lazy, but I think that's something to think about when you're drawing, is your style and your fashion sense. And I would just try and reflect that. If you're a lazy dresser, make your character lazy. It also can be simple shaped. I found that when I was in basic training, I was really attracted to this kind of like doodly character. I can throw it up on the screen. It was really simple, it was really easy, little curly bits, and I thought that was really fun, and it connected with me a lot just to have something quick to doodle. That was where I left off until I was thinking about my childhood. I've been rewatching Fire Force lately. That was one of my favorite animes when I was in high school, and I was just thinking about things that I used to like when I was a kid, which this is another piece of advice. When in doubt, go back to the things that you liked when you were a kid. Go back to the foundation. Think about what was my favorite animal, what was my favorite color, blah blah blah. I have always been a very big Wild Kratts fan, and there are a few episodes of Wild Kratts that stick in my head very sharply, and I will never forget them. One of which is the Caracal episode. The reason I remember this episode so well is there was a PBS Games website, which I don't know if you know or are familiar with, but you could play as like the creature suits, and each game had a different animal theme. And the Caracal game, basically, they are known for being able to jump super high. So you would jump up high and grab these like turkeys. I think they were turkeys or chickens, or one of those, just one of the poultry. You could jump up and grab the poultry, and you'd like look for the golden one and whatever. I was really obsessed with that game, and so since then that has been my favorite Wildcat. And I've been thinking about, I wasn't even thinking about spicing up. I was thinking about changing the outfit that I draw myself in, which I now draw myself in the current outfit that I'm wearing. See? And I really like this outfit. This is my favorite. Like, this is what I wear around the house. This is what I draw myself in most of the time. I really like this outfit. And so I was drawing myself in this outfit, and I was thinking about the furry days and the tail. I was thinking about how fun it was. And I thought, because every artist thinks about this. If you had a persona, what would it be, right? And I didn't want it to be a normal cat, because I feel like that's too basic. And I definitely didn't want the raccoon thing, because that is a very 2020 me, and I'm very different. And also, I was just a Tommy Innit clone back then, and I definitely didn't want to be. So I was thinking about this, and I was like, oh, my persona would be a Caracal. And so when I was thinking about drawing myself and doodling around with my persona, I thought, oh my god, I can do the whole hybrid thing again. So I did. So this is what I need. I don't want, I'm trying to establish a brand here, you guys, okay? A reputation. And, if you're a part of the 1,000 subscriber gang, or, you've seen the other videos, I hope that this has been a fun continuation for you, and not just been me talking to no one. But I think that this has been kind of fun, and I wanted to give everyone a chance to see me, because I don't really want to just be a faceless channel. I do have a face, and I don't mind showing it on the internet. I wanted people to get a sense of who I was, give myself a chance to talk a little bit about my life and my art journey and my interests. And now I've come to this cross, because I really don't know. When it comes to branding, I think consistency is super important. And if there's one thing I'm very bad at, it's consistency. Like, when I say I'm going to make a final art fight video, and then I don't make a final art fight video, that is a damage to my reputation. When I say I'm going to do a series on music and art, and I only publish 3 of the 5 videos that I intended to do on music and art, well, that damages your reputation a little bit. and so I don't really want to commit to anything, but I have found myself wanting to commit to this. So, you know, we struggle, we ball. I'm sure that I'll figure something out, even if that just means a bajillion more polls on the internet. But yeah, I mean, in terms of the basic commentary that I had, that is all that I have. There's a few things I want to add, so if you've gotten this far, just stick around a few more minutes. There's a few things I wanted to mention. One is that of the polls, the Draw This in Your Style one, and I'm hoping that by the time I publish this video, I will have all of the rules and regulations and some sort of advertisement, so that if you're interested in doing the Draw This in Your Style challenge, that will be at the end of this video. I'm also planning on opening a Discord server relatively soon, because that got a lot of votes. It didn't win, but it got a lot of votes, and so I decided I wouldn't do this for 1,000, but I'd maybe release it at the end of the year or something like that. I've been working on it. It's almost done. Looking forward to having that for the community here, because I really want to get the chance to talk to you and have a better space to share everything with. And if you like this style of video, let me know. I am definitely taking a bit of a risk with a video like this that isn't with my persona or isn't exactly structured. It's more me talking. I feel like it's a little bit of a lecture, and I'm just not sure like how well this will frame itself, and I had a lot of fun. If you want to see anything from me, you can comment that. If you have any advice, you can comment that. If my audio quality is shit, please don't comment that. I know it's terrible. I'm trying really hard to be okay with it. It does not help that I'm keep banging into my mic and making all of these noises, which I really hope doesn't come through too poorly in the recording, but I guess it doesn't really matter. And I really appreciate you guys watching this far into the video. I know this is a bit of a long one and not all what I've done before, but I appreciate you guys sticking with me, watching my videos. It really does mean a lot to me. I've had the time of my life making these. I really love it, and I love talking to you guys, and I love participating in the comments, and this whole thing has been really fun. Also, the art fight, it was really fun. I didn't meet any of my goals. To no one's surprise, I didn't meet any of my goals. I just wanted to extend my appreciation to everyone who did participate and interact with me through revenges or attacks. I really appreciate it. I see everything y'all do, and I hope that I can find a way to give back regardless of attacks in some way. So yeah, I will talk to you guys later. Bye guys, thank you so much for watching. As some of you might know, I recently hit 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, and after a series of polls, we have decided upon a 1,000 subscriber Draw This in Your Style collaborative challenge. Essentially, you're going to be redrawing this image, and as you can see, there's a small plushie here, and you will put a plushie version of a character of your choice in this spot in your drawing. Now let's get to the good stuff. Prizes. First place will win a 30 to 60 second animatic made by me. We can collaborate on it, choose music, choose characters. It can be any media of your choice. Although we will be working together, I'm not just going to draw any request. Second place will win a full body render of a character of your choice, and third place is going to win a sketch page of a character of your choice. You'll have until November 14th to finish all of your drawings, and then I'll announce the winners and give prizes when I do so. Wherever you post it, don't forget to tag me, use the hashtag SeltzerDTIYS, include whatever social media, like a screenshot or something of the Draw This in Your Style photo that I have on the screen here. Make sure that you're subscribed to me on YouTube, and that's about it. I hope that you have fun with this, and that's all I have to say. Okay, goodbye!